Hi artists, I'm back. My name is Mickey and I'm an art teacher at Kimberly High School and I'm here to do some art with you. It was such a beautiful sunny day today that I decided that I wanted us to do art about the beach. So I'm going to teach you how to draw a good palm tree, and also we're going to talk some more about blending and layering good old crayons. So I have a bunch of just regular crayons and hopefully you have those at your house too. So I'm going to swing this over here and I'm going to start by drawing with a marker. But if you decide that you would prefer to use a pencil first and erase mistakes as you go, that's always a great idea too. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw the land. I'm going to go part way up my paper like this, and I'm going to make kind of almost like a hill going down my paper. Now from there, I'm going to do another one on the other side because I want it to look like there's kind of layers of sand happening. The next thing that I'm going to do is draw my palm tree. And I know sometimes people think palm trees are kind of hard to draw, but hopefully I can help explain it. So I'm going to start with the bottom of the trunk over here, kind of on the hill, and I'm going to make sure that it's lower than where the hill is because we want it to look like it's attached to the ground. So I'm just going to start with a little bit of a curve, and I am going to have my palm tree kind of leaning. So from here, I'm going to kind of bring it leaning over like that. Now palm trees, and this is true of almost all trees, are fatter at the bottom and skinnier as they grow away from the ground. So we want our tree a little bit fatter at the bottom, getting skinnier and skinnier as it works its way up. Now don't worry if your palm tree is not perfectly straight. Real palm trees aren't. If you've ever seen them, they have kind of jagged lumps and bumps and stuff. Now this palm tree, notice that we can see the land going through. Well, one great thing about the trunks of palm trees is they have these kind of rings on them, and I'm putting one right on top of where the land is going through, because that way it'll look like it isn't even there. We call that camouflage, right? We're camouflaging where the land is going through. But of course, if you use a pencil first, you can always erase that part too. Now this is probably the toughest part of the palm tree, and that is drawing the palms. We're going to do the front ones first. So we're going to do the front ones, and then we're going to add the back ones. And as you see, it's like an arch, and it almost looks like teeth, doesn't it? So we're going to start coming from here. I'm just going to do kind of a nice arch like that. And then actually I might do my other arch right away. I'm going to do a big arch like that. Almost looks like a seagull, right? Now from this one, I'm going to go scoop, 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 scoop to the point. All right, they're like little arches. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to go scoop, 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 scoop. And you can make those rounded like I just did, or they could be a little more jagged. Either one is a-okay. It's your own personal style. Next, I'm going to put one coming from behind here. Now, when I add my scoops to this one, once I run into this one, this palm, I'm going to stop so I don't go over the top of it. So for this one, I'm going to kind of go scoop, scoop, kind of scoop, and then stop when I ran into the other one. The one back here, I don't think I'm going to have any scoops. I'm going to kind of come up and I'm going to let it end right into the other one. And in my imagination, I think that the scoopy parts are behind that one. That way it makes it look a little more realistic. Now I am going to add some coconuts. So those can be here. I'm going to kind of let them overlap onto that trunk a little bit. You could always have a third one. I could pretend there was a third one kind of behind the trunk there. Now, one thing I want to remind you about with these videos is that whenever I go too fast for you, you should pause the video and then catch up, okay? Yeah, I don't expect you to go as fast as me because I'm old and I do a lot of art, so that's why I go fast. So here we are again. Oop, I have to reposition my camera there. There we go. All right, so I think that is a pretty decent looking palm tree. Now we're going to add the water. Notice that we didn't add the water yet, or what we call the horizon. That means like where the edge of the land is. So I'm going to go up about this much, doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm gonna put kind of a wavy line going right across, straight across my paper. That is going to be my horizon. And horizon means where it looks like the land and the sky are meeting. Now within this water, I'm going to add a few more little wavy lines just to show that there's a little bit of movement. I don't want it to look like there's major tidal waves going on or anything, but I just want to show that there is, you know, kind of a flowy movement to my water. So something like that would be great. Next, this one's easy. We're going to draw the sun. And I think, in my scene, because I wanted to do a lot of blending of colors in the sky, I decided to make my sun setting. Now, if you would prefer to have your sun up high in the sky and you want to have more blues in the sky, like it's earlier in the daytime, that's totally cool too. You get to choose how you want it to be. I am going to, though, put my sun right about there, I think. That's going to be my setting sun. Next, I'm going to put a beach ball as if it's sitting in the sand. And the first thing I want to do is put kind of a little bit of a layer of sand here. Maybe I'll put another one right at the base of my tree, just to look like the sand isn't all perfect and smooth. That's also going to help me know where I could add my beach ball. So I'm going to have my beach ball be here and pretend that it's partially buried in the sand. Now hopefully you've maybe drawn some beach balls before. First I'm starting with that little circle, and then I'm just dividing my beach ball into color sections like a real one. So believe it or not, that's all the actual drawing that we have to do for this scene. Everything else that we're going to do involves color. And I don't know how many of you maybe joined me last time when we drew the dog, but we layered and kind of blended crayons, which is super cool to be able to do. And we're going to do that too. So get out as many colors as you have, and we're going to layer them. So we'll color one color, but then we're going to color another color over the top, and they're going to mix and make new colors. So crayons are actually an excellent type of art supply. There are even professional artists who do artwork with crayons and even have it in art museums and art galleries. So maybe you could be like them and just work really hard with crayons and make some beautiful art. So let's do this together. I'm going to bring it over here, And I am going to start with my sky. And the reason for that is that if I accidentally run into my tree, it's okay. It's not a big deal because the tree is going to be darker than the sky. When I did my tree, when I did my sky, I kind of scribbled right into my tree at times. And then I colored the tree over the top and it worked out great. So I'm gonna start by coloring in my sun because I do know that I want that nice and light. Notice how much I go back and forth in one spot with my crayons. I know sometimes crayons can look pretty messy if we just do it like, I'll do it up here, you know, just kind of like that, right? Sometimes people might color like that, but we don't want to do it that way. We want to be sure that we are getting things filled in very full. So I'm also going to color the sky around my sun with yellow. Notice I'm going on my palm tree a little bit, aren't I? That's a-okay because the green is going to overtake it and so's the brown. So I'm just taking this yellow and I'm running over my palm tree a little bit. That's okay. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me do the whole sky, but I would put about that much yellow in for now. Next, I'm going to transition into kind of an orange color. This is a lightish yellow orange, but even regular orange would be just fine. Notice I'm coloring right on top of the yellow, aren't I? I'm going right on top of the yellow, and that way my yellow and my orange are blending together to create another color. If I come over here and I'm coloring with my orange only on the white paper, it's more orangey. It's brighter orange. Now I'm going to continue coming out here with my orange, going out further than I expect, because I'm going to layer more colors over this. Now, what do you think? How about pink? That would make sense, right? So now I have light pink, and I'm gonna go over my orange over here, and I'm gonna let my pink and my orange blend together. I'm gonna get even pinker out at the edge here, and I'm gonna let myself get even pinker as I go up toward the top. So what I'm doing is I'm overlapping my colors. Then I could even take brighter pink, which in this case it's called red violet. You might have a crayon that's called magenta, color like that. And I can come over this and blend in even more colors to make it look even more sunset-y. And I would just keep layering it in. So as you noticed, I've already been using like 3 different colors on top of each other. That's a lot. But I think it makes it look like a sunset. I'm going to bring some more pink here. Bring the pink toward the sun. And I would keep going on my whole sky. I'm going to show you this one. So this is after I kept blending on both sides of the sun, and in some places I even have 4 different colors layered on top of each other. So that's kind of cool. The next thing I think I'm going to do is the water. Notice that I did some yellow on my water first, and then I blended blues and purples into the yellow. So I'm getting my yellow again, and I'm going to color right below my sun. Just kind of showing where the sun is shining on the water. Kind of like that. Then from here, I have 2 different blues today. I have a light one called blue green, and then I have the darker blue, which is just plain blue. And then I have just plain purple too, violet. So I'm going to start with the lightest color first. I'm going to start with this nice blue-green. I think it looks kind of like turquoise color. And I'm just going to put a base layer in like this. And it's okay if I accidentally overlap into my tree trunk because the brown of the tree trunk is going to overtake the blue of the water. And I'm just trying to go nice and fast. You can take your time and do a much neater job than I am, but at least I have a base color on, and I would do it on the other side also. Then I would start to blend in different kinds of colors. So here is a darker blue. I could do maybe toward the shoreline. Maybe I'd have it a little bit darker. And then maybe I could bring in some purple and blend that into some of the waves. Maybe over here. And again, I accidentally went on the tree trunk, but it's okay. That is because I'm going to color right over that when I'm done. Now, I would continue blending other colors in, and you could decide what other colors sound good. I could see even putting a little bit of pink in it, in the water. That might look kind of sunset-y. I could even bring a little bit of pink into my yellow, couldn't I? That's kind of pretty. Just showing that it's reflecting on the water. And of course, more blue. So it looks more like water over here. See, the good news is these colors all blend together because crayons are made out of wax. And wax can kind of meld together nicely. So that starts to look kind of pretty, doesn't it? So you would just keep doing it until you liked how it looked. Could even throw a little yellow over here again. The good news is that when blue and yellow mix, they just make more kind of green watercolors. All right, so then I would color the palms green, and I'm just going to show you close up what I did. I colored them green, but then I layered a little bit of brown into my green to try to make it look realistic. I colored my trunk brown, but then I added some streaks of black. See that? So what I'm going to do, I'll just give you a little taste of it here. I'd color this whole trunk in brown. I won't do the whole thing, but you can see. And then I would take the black and kind of layer a little bit of texture over that brown, kind of like that. So I would do that on the whole thing, just like this one. Then the beach ball, that one's easy, right? You can just color that in any colors you want. So I'm not going to boss you around about that one. I do want to talk about the sand though. Do you notice how the sand has kind of a texture to it? Well, in order to do that, I had to peel off the paper off of part of one of my brown crayons. You might already have some crayons that the paper already came off of or that are broken. So those you could just peel the paper off of. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm using the side of the crayon, and that's giving it a really nice kind of grainy, sandy look. It just makes it look a little different than when we go back and forth with the tip of the crayon and really fill it in. So first I'm just kind of doing this sandy texture thing on all of my sand, and that goes very quickly, doesn't it? That's great. Then I'm going to do a little bit of shading and shadowing. I'm going to pretend that this is behind this. So right in here now I'm using the tip of my brown, and I'm coloring a little darker right where this sand is. I figured this could be a little closer to the shoreline maybe. I'll get a little more texture in there. I could also get a little darker under the palm tree here, just showing that there's a little more texture under here, or shadows. Also here in the line next to the ball, so it looks like the ball is really kind of in the sand. Having some different, we call those values in art. That means light spots and dark spots. Now, my sand isn't going to stay just brown. I'm also going to add some orange. So I'm being kind of light with my orange because I don't want it to get colored in too much, but sand is really kind of a mix between brown, yellow, and orange colors. Like when I'm painting a painting, those are the kinds of colors that I use and mix as I'm creating my painting. So I'm just kind of layering some orange in here. And I think I want my yellow to reflect on the sand also. So I'm gonna really push hard on my crayon, and I'm gonna add some yellow shining on the sand underneath. That way the sun looks like it's casting shine in there. Then maybe I'll throw a little more yellow into my sand wherever it raises up a little higher. There, just so we don't leave our sand plain brown. Now, I'm not going to make you watch me color the rest. I will be sure to post a picture of the finished drawing on the site or with the video, so that way you can look at that and know what else you can do to color it in. Hopefully, my little demonstration has helped you understand a little more, maybe some new techniques and new tricks that you can do with crayons, because a lot of people think that all you can do is just color it one color and that's it. And some people don't even realize that if you push really hard with a crayon, you can color things in very, very solid. Like look at that beach ball. You can get that colored in super solid, and then it looks pretty professional. So just like the other times, if you do this project, I'd love to see your art. So please think about sending it to the Fox Crossing Park and Rec, and they will share it with me so I can see it. So good luck. Have fun making art and get excited for summer because it's coming pretty soon, right? And then maybe we can go to the beach. I know we don't have palm trees in Wisconsin, but we do have beaches, right? All right, take care and thanks for making art with me today. Bye.